Yo, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel for a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on some of the best when it comes to all-time Call of Duty talent. We're going to be taking a closer look at some of the best individual peaks in Call of Duty history. Not best careers, rather just take one game, one player where he really stood out as by far the best player in that game and one of the best individual players of all time. I will add, I am not duplicating players for this. So basically there's somebody who might have been one of the best individual peaks at 2 or 3 different games. They're going to be here once. I'm going to pick their best game and add them in here. I just think if he did that, you could probably make the whole top 5 with 2 or 3 players from multiple titles. So instead, one player per title, and that's how we're going to do it. Also, a quick honorable mention. I think coming in at number 6 would be World War II Kenny. I think he's consensus best player in that game. Obviously, he played out of his mind throughout that title. I think if I was doing one more and I was doing top 6 instead of top 5, he would be that one. So he just falls out of there, but I definitely want to give him a mention. If you enjoy the video, let me know. Leave a like down below and leave a comment as well with your thoughts on some of the best individual peaks, individual seasons of all time from Call of Duty players. And also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content from me in the future, because I will be doing a lot more top 5 kind of videos like this one in the future. So definitely let me know. Thank you for all the support, and let's hop right into the video. Starting us off at number 5, we have Karma from Black Ops 2. Now, some might say Karma was not even the best individual player in Black Ops 2. They would say towards the latter half of the year, Crim6 came on and took that title. And if you want to say that, that's fine. I disagree, but it's definitely a possibility. However, as you can probably assume, we're going to see Crim6 later on in this video from a different game. So for that reason, Karma in Black Ops 2 takes the cake here. He had a great season both individually and as part of a team. So his average placing for the year was around 3.6. And I guess it depends what all events you consider majors or whatever else, but around that 3.5, 3.6 range. They did have 4 straight wins as part of that Frico team. They had the MLG Winter Championship. They had EGL 9, which you might not call a major. You probably shouldn't because there wasn't really that many top teams there. It was still a win though, so I will count it in here. Then of course they won COD Champs with that big win over Envy in the grand finals. And finally UMG St. Louis before they ultimately got second place, I believe, at Columbus to Complexity. And that ended their run. But still a great run from Frico and a great run from Karma individually. Just out of his mind in that game. He does have the Black Ops 2 kill record. He had, I believe, 53 kills on a hijacked hardpoint. So that still stands. That will stand for the end of time, obviously, with the game being out of the cycle now. But just a great game from him. And it's weird because, like, when you think about Karma throughout the later parts of his career, he was more known for his savvy and sort of his smart plays and being a veteran leader rather than popping off individually. But the thing with Black Ops 2 is he had both. He was, like, probably the best slayer, or at least one of the best slayers in the game. He played the objective well for Frico, and he was also very smart too. Like, that was the first game ever where hardpoint was a thing in Call of Duty. And Karma was very smart at it, just like he was towards the latter half of his career. He was super smart with the spawns and rotations and all that, but he also slayed out of his mind. He also was surrounded by very smart teammates. You know, Parasite, Killa, and Miracles and Search and Destroy. All of them smart players. He was set up in a great environment to succeed, and he definitely succeeded both individually and as part of a team. So overall for Black Ops 2 Karma, I do say he was the best player in the game. I think his performance for the first half of the year was better than Crim6 over the second half of the year. Just phenomenal individual. He has that 27 kill streak on Yemen. We're never going to forget that. I mean, that I can say right now with confidence that will never be touched in terms of the longest kill streak in competitive COD. That was absolutely insane. You've seen it highlight on your screen at some point. I mean, just insane stuff from him. He also had like a 13, 14 kill streak on the CTF. You're seeing that as well. All around, he could pop off all the time. He could play smart. I can remember him. He had the attitude, you know. I can think of the grand finals of Black Ops 2 Champs versus Envy. On a CTF on standoff, he's like popping off, he's shooting bodies, he's teabagging, he's dolphin diving the flag back in. I mean, he had the attitude, he had the skill, he had the smarts, all of that. Black Ops 2 Karma, absolutely in my mind, one of the top 5 peaks in Call of Duty history. Coming in at number 4, we have the young god from Black Ops 4. Of course, I'm talking about Simp. I mean, just insane stuff from this. His resume from Black Ops 4 in a short amount of time was absolutely insane. So if you remember, you might not, I'm sure you do, he was not old enough to play until the middle part of Black Ops 4. So instead, he was on the EU Academy team. When he was old enough, he was able to be signed to EU, but he wasn't playing right away. So he played with FaZe Black, their Academy team, and they went and they won the Fort Worth Open. They dropped like 4 maps the entire event. So obviously, his career got off to a great start. He was put into the starting lineup for United, and it was a successful move right away. They were able to take second place at CWL London. They kind of fell off a little bit. They got top 6 at Anaheim before winning the Stage 2 playoffs and then also ultimately winning champs as well. Individually, I mean, just an insane game from Simp. His overall KD for the entire year was a 1.31. That is some mind-boggling stuff. His lowest event KD at any event was a 1.17 when they got that top 6. So think about that. His lowest, that's his lowest for a whole season, any event, lowest KD was a 1.17. Absolutely insane. I know KD is not everything, but for these older games, there wasn't as many advanced stats as there is now, but still, a 1.17 KD with an SMG being your lowest at any event, that tells you all you have to know about how good he was as an individual. He was good at all game modes, but of course, we all know his best game mode was Search. Absolutely insane with the sniper in his hand. I think, without a doubt, the best sniper in that game, and that is saying something because there were some very good snipers in that game, but his pop-off potential with a sniper was absurd. And then he had a pistol. That's all he had. He had a pistol, a sniper, and he had a 1.51 search and destroy KD. I think, again, just take a moment and think about that. A 1.51 search and destroy KD over the course of an entire season. Statistically, I think Simp's Black Ops 4 season might be the best individual season of all time. He also was their champs MVP with a 1.35 KD. Again, rookie, brand new, like his 4th event as a pro, 1.35 in champs, going ballistic with his sniper and his pistol and search and everything else. Just phenomenal player. Like, I truly think when he was around in Black Ops 4 for that latter half of the year, he was without a doubt, no doubt in anybody's mind, the best player in the world. So you might be thinking, why is he not higher? And the thing is, just because he didn't play the whole year, that's pretty much it. If he had played the whole year, I would assume he would have had the same success because he was just that good, but we can't know that for sure. So if he played the whole year and had the same success, he might be number 1 on this list, honestly. I mean, his Black Ops 4, like I said, it was absolutely insane. And when he was in there, he was head and shoulders the best player to me. It's just because we didn't see him the whole year that I can't put him higher. But still, absolutely insane year from Simp. Again, just based on the stats and the achievements, in only half a year, he had one of the best seasons of all time. So that surely says something about his skill. And the craziest part is we might not have even seen his peak yet. We might revisit this video 5 years from now, and we might be talking about a different game where Simp was even better than Black Ops 4. That might be the craziest part. This guy is so good, and he's been so good since the moment he joined the league. So at number 4, we do have Simp from Black Ops 4. Moving into the top 3, I think these are the 3 guys where they all have true arguments for being number 1. Like, if you had any of them at number 1, 2, 3, they're interchangeable. I think all of them make sense. But at number 3, we have Ghost Crim6. And again, you might think he's at the top. I think he's definitely up there. I mean, they won the first 5 events. The first 5 major events were all won by Complexity/Evil Geniuses in Ghost. They had all that success as a team. Their average, or his average placing for the year was like a 2.8-ish. Somewhere in that range. Again, depends what all tournaments you count, but definitely like insane placements for them over the course of the whole year. They did win champs, of course, and on that event, Crim6 had a 1.36 KD. That was the second highest KD at the event, only behind Swanee, actually. I think there was no MVP for that champs, but if there was, I would feel pretty confident in Crim taking it because he was their best player. He had their highest KD. Again, there's not really advanced stats beyond that for these older games, but still, you go back and you watch the games, you can see the impact Crim had on his team. He was phenomenal. It wasn't at champs, I don't believe, but his 20 kill game on Sovereign Search and Destroy, that is still among the all-time Search and Destroy kill records. It might be at the top for 4v4. I'm not 100% sure. It's definitely up there. An insane game from him, and kind of like Karma in Black Ops 2, the thing with Crim6 is, again, like we know him now, he's the smart player, and he was that back then as well, but also the best individual talent. So you combine the best individual talent, you put him with good teammates, and you also make him himself very smart and in a good system. I mean, all of that just adds up to a big recipe for success, and it definitely was for Crim6. You know, earlier I mentioned him as some people might say he was the best player in Black Ops 2. Again, I disagree, but I can see the argument. However, that was never even considered for this video because he was definitely better at Ghost than Black Ops 2. He was better over the course of the entire year. He had all that team success. He had the second highest KD for the whole game, only behind Saints, who was elite at that game. Like, he was phenomenal. So overall, great title from Crim, one of the best players of all time. Some would call him the best. I don't have him there, but definitely at the top, and he could be argued for number 1. I don't have him there, but still, number 3, we have Ghost Crim6. Next up, we have who I think the community probably thinks is the number 1 individual player of all time, but I have him at number 2. It is Advanced Warfare Scump. You think about the Optic Advanced Warfare team, in my mind, without a doubt, the best team from any one Call of Duty title in history. There were 15 major events in this year. They got top 2 in 14 of them, including 9 wins. The only thing holding them back, of course, was they got 7th at champs. That was their only time they were not in the grand finals of a major. And of course, it was the biggest tournament of the year, so that's what sticks in people's heads the most. But when you get to Scump individually, he still performed well at champs, as he always seemed to do. He had a 1.3 KD for the event and a 1.32 in Search and Destroy. So he was really the only player on his team truly pulling his weight. Unfortunate for him, the team could not have had more success in that event because they were definitely the best team. He could easily have 2 rings if he got this one because they were so good at this game and he was so good at this game. You look at his stats for the year and they speak for themselves, and I was actually able to find more stats than just KD for this one, so that was nice. So he had a 1.20 KD for the year, which was the best on Optic, and I assume probably the best in Advanced Warfare. I guess I can't say for sure, but that's what I expect. He also, however, was either top 1 or 2 for Optic in objectives for all game modes, so whether that be hardpoint time or uplink points or CTF captures. He was in the top 2 or 1 of the team in all of that. So he was doing the slaying, he was doing the objective work, he was doing pretty much everything you could ask of him, all of this while using an SMG, which I guess in that game was not a huge disadvantage because the ASM-1 was nasty, but I think we could all agree the BAL was better. We don't really doubt that. But still, amazing game from Scump. His lowest KD at any event for the year was a 1.08. Again, SMG, lowest KD 1.08. What can you say about this guy? The sustained team success, the consistency there, the consistency from him both as a slayer and as an objective player. Truly, I think one of the most talented players of all time. Again, most people probably have him number 1. I don't disagree with them. I do disagree. I wouldn't have him here. But if you have him higher, I don't blame you because he was so good at Advanced Warfare. So I can definitely see the argument for him being up there. I have him at 2, but Advanced Warfare Scump, without a doubt, one of the top 3 individual peaks in Call of Duty history. And coming in at number 1 is, of course, by now you have done the process of elimination. It is Infinite Warfare Formal. And what a season this was. And I might be breaking my rules some here because I was focusing for most people over the entire course of the season. And if I did that here, Formal would not be number 1, I don't think. He'd still be up there, but he did have a good season overall. So let's just go overall. They had 4 event wins for the year as Optic. Their average placing was 2.43. That, of course, is very good. His KD for the entire year was a 1.23. His lowest was a 1.05 at any particular event. However, you look beyond that, you look at champs, and that, of course, is why Formal is here. I truly think, without a doubt, Infinite Warfare Champs Formal is the best player we've ever seen. The best event from any player of all time. Just listen to these stats. He had a 1.44 KD at the event for the entire event. The next highest on Optic was Scump with a 1.13, and then I believe Krim and Karma were both negative, around that 1 range. So think about how all the slaying power Form was carrying. A 1.44, the next best in his team at 1.13. That is absolutely insane. His Search and Destroy KD for the event was a 1.42. The only other positive member of Optic was Krim at a 1.03. That is, obviously a very drastic difference. In Hardpoint, he had the highest hill time on the team, so it's not like he was just kill whoring. He was playing the objective as well, sitting in the hill like ARs tend to do. He also had the highest kills per round. The only time all year for Optic that he had the highest kills per round at any particular event was at Champs. So not only was he doing, winning with the highest KD, so he was winning a lot of his engagements, he was also getting a lot of engagements. So if you get the most engagements and win the most engagements, think about how much you're doing for your team. I think it was the second time all year that Scump was not the fastest player at an event for Optic, at least in terms of kills. Not engagements, but just kills. So it's just insane for me to think Formal was outpacing Scump and also getting a higher KD than him, winning more engagements and playing that faster than they are. It's just insane for me. I really do think Infinite Warfare Chance Formal, we have never seen a player like that. That was like Super Saiyan. We won't see it again. It was a form we've never seen. I don't know if we're ever going to see it again. It was insane. I mean, the guy is one of the most talented players in Call of Duty history. You could argue I would argue he has the best pure gun skill in Call of Duty history. And at this event, IW Champs, he put it all together. He was out of this world. Again, if you look at the whole year, you might have him below Ghost Krim or AW Scump, and that's fine. But I cheated a little bit here. Just looking at IW Champs, I have to have Formal number 1 because that was a player we have not seen since and may not ever see again. So that's going to do it for the video. If you enjoyed, let me know by leaving a like down below. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, leave a comment as well with your thoughts on the best individual peak in COD history. And also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more countdown videos like this one from me in the future, because you definitely will. I love making them and I hope you enjoy watching them. So that's going to do it for me. Thank you for all the support. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a good day today, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.